The Geezer in the Freezer by Randall Wright, illustrated by Thor Wickstrom. For 3 cool dudes, Evan, Parker, and Ethan, and for my dear old mother and her geezer Harold. There's a geezer in our freezer, and he's shivering fit to die, with his feet upon a rub roast and his elbow in a pie. Maybe someone put him in there just to keep him for a while, but it gives me crawly creepies because he's frozen with a smile. I was hunting for some ice cream, and I knew we had a stash right betwixt the Christmas turkey and the frozen corned beef hash. As I rummaged in that icebox, I was taken with a chill, because I sensed 2 eyes upon me, and I felt an eerie thrill. Then I spied him in the corner, huddled back amongst the peas, and I started in to holler, but he stopped me with a sneeze. "It's so cold in here," he chattered. "Could you let me have a coat, or something warm and woolly I can wrap around my throat?" Well, I shut that door right smartly. Wouldn't you have done it too, if a coot was in your freezer with his edges turning blue? When I told Aunt May about him, she replied, "Why, that's absurd!" She's a little hard of hearing, so she shouted every word. "Don't you think that I'd have noticed something like a chattering gent?" Well, I guess she maybe would have, except her eyesight's nearly spent. Wasn't long again I saw him. Aunt May sent me for some corn. He was shivering by the ham bone, and his face looked so forlorn. "Can you spare a bite of something for me to warm up a touch? I'm so tired of eating snow crab, maybe chili beans or such." When I spoke of it to Auntie, she just squinted up her eyes. Like I said, her vision's failing, so she's hardly otherwise. Well, I think that freezer's haunted by the ghost of suppers past, because I sometimes hear faint whispers. I was sorry now I asked. 'Twas a Friday night, I reckon, that I met him once again. I was off to fetch some taters from the garden produce bin. Sure as shootin', he was there, icy-haired just like before, with a frost upon his eyebrows. Well, I had to shut that door. "Now you wait a gold darn minute," cried that geezer with a squeak. "I don't think I can take it, not another blasted week." I kind of froze a minute, almost 2, and then I spoke. "What you doing in our icebox? Where are you from? Where's your folk?" Well, his eyes turned far and misty, and a tear ran down his nose, where it made a little rainbow in the light, and then it froze. "'Tis a tale that's long a-tellin'," said the geezer with a sigh, "but I reckon I should tell it once or twice before I die. I was sent to fetch some victuals by the woman that I adore, and I paused here to ponder on the joys of sweet amour. But I tarried down much too long here, and I fear her love's grown old, and I reckon she's forgot me, or she thinks my heart's turned cold. See, I met her in the springtime, when the blush was on the rose, and we courted through the summer, sipping sodas nose to nose. In the fall we thought we'd marry, at the church away in town, then we'd snuggle up together while the winter hunkered down. But we never saw the snowfall, nor in autumn did we wed. I've been stuck here in this freezer," were the words the old man said. "I can't budge one way or the other. I can't even turn about. Guess I'm frozen here forever. I just expect I'm never coming out." I was quiet for a second, but I couldn't hold it in. That old laughing burbled upward. First, it started with a grin. Then it burst right out with hiccups, and I rolled upon the floor, and I giggled and I snorted till I couldn't laugh no more. "Looky here, you silly geezer, at that switch right there on your right. It's a self-defrosting freezer. It'll do it overnight." Then I pushed that button for him, and I went upstairs to sleep. When I came back in the morning, there was water 2 feet deep. And that frozen pop was sitting on the stove with eyes aglow, while my Aunt May stood there squinting at her thawed-out Romeo. "Is that you, my frostbit pumpkin? How I've missed my darling man!" That old gent sort of giggled, then he blushed and kissed her hand. Now that codger's our lodger, and he's living right downstairs, in the room next to the furnace, says he's done with Frigidaires. The end.